So what I constructed here is one of my, it's a machinist guide for CNCs. You can probably do it on any format. But what I did is I took some small intricate tools with the carbine insert, and actually you have another version of it over here. And in this manual, it's you know, it's little pieces in a page, because when we have manuals and we have so much writing, so much material, so much information, if you combine the both with a picture, it makes it so much easier. Not for so aspect as Joe here or Tim, but it's the ones that are new to it. The ones that through our training program, you know, I think we have to change. That's the greatest fear I notice with a lot of things with our, is we stick to the same concept and we tend to break from it. So what I've done here is I took our micro lens and I zoomed in on the carbine insert. So what I did is when you get to the profile setting, to leave the land on the profile of machining, which you can do it in any format, anything can be done like this. So what I do is I show you where the beveled edge, well, not beveled edge, but the difference in the groove from the 431 insert. And then what I do is I align another one. As you can see, as a 212 and a neutral insert, how you can tell the difference. So what I did is for the 431, as you can see, as far as the difference in width. And then when you pull a 432, how it's so much bigger. And a lot of times what we see in the field is, you know, I don't think it's so much time pressure. I think it's in the individuals just adapts and overcomes. But what we found out on a lot of them that we've done is, let's say the 432 has an insert box just for it over here to our right, and then to our left is the 431s. So over here off to our left is the 431s. Well, through different groups, different shifts, it always happens, and you have a 431 and a 432 and a 432 and a 431, and if you don't look and you're close to finishing your profile and you have tolerances in metric or inches or thousandths, you can lose it. And you know, it's easy to do, and a lot of us, we get so in the moment that we have to, each time we pull an insert out, we have to look and make sure that it is the same. And even positions of the machine to show how the position of the machine is. And after this little segment of me just kind of talking about it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it down and get a close-up so you can actually get a really good visual of the book. You know, and just to let you know how you park the Z. Also, even when it's seated down, the tool's in position. The UNC beveler that we use here, and you know, your difference between your plane bolts, where you're planing out the machine, and then you have this right here, which you're so close to doing, is your foot that locks the machine into plate. And to kind of give you an idea, not too much information, but enough, you know, and what to check for. Like I said, after so many, let's say one pass or a couple passes, and then we want to check our feet on the tool, which, like I said, you can do this in any concept. Small, anything mechanically. I think it's a really good concept, because, you know, challenges that we face that we remember. It's just like when you insert this tool holder, and right now it's actually into the I believe this is into the profile, but it's little things that we tighten to put our tool on here. But also this right here, what happened is this right here somehow or another got loose, so we went to go cut with it. It loosened up, and luckily we caught it. We stopped and we check it, and I guess the biggest thing is don't be in a routine. You know, the routine is to check everything. You know, even let's say your cable connections, because you get faults. And what this is, it's just like a reference guide. Even the simplest things is where our cords and cables are connected, how we really want this whole piece that is sealed around it, it should be all the way up inside here, but it's, it's something that I took the time to look at. And, in your connections in the box, your power supply, to kind of give you an idea. And then, like I said, just different positions. Even your guide pins, you really want to look at these and look at your connection to make sure you have it in the right sequence. And, don't force it. You want to go in easy, but you really want to make sure that when you're going, that you're going in the right direction. So, there again, you have the sequence right here, and a lot of times I notice people will get them on there and they'll just try to play with it, and sometimes forcibly do it, and you can cause damage to the connections. Like I said, the pins. And everybody uses different connections, but I mean, like I said, it's basically things to look for when you have error codes come up on the control panels. And like I said, you can do this format with anything. I mean, anything that you do mechanically, anything. The sequence of events for even doing a program. And what you want to look for. Like I said, here's another diagram. Just kind of running through this pretty quick. And like here we have the cable connected, but what also has happened is where it's coming from the box, the cords are showing right here. So now you possibly have an issue with maintenance, and like I said, you really need to check these things every time you go in. And, just showing you just little minor steps, even like loading a program, where you might want to go, and even sequences to get to another thing, and your position in the machine, home in the machine, so it's homed, so your Z's home, your X is home, so what that looks like and so forth, and just key sequences, just a little stepping tool where you can still use an operating instruction, but you also have a little bit more of a guide where you're actually seeing the buttons. And just the sequence of how the programs are listed. The sequence, like I said, it's a little guide just to kind of help us, because it's nice to have a manual where you can go back, and then just different settings. It's easy to show an individual when you have some kind of guide, but a lot of times we get too complacent, or we actually get too overconfident, and we choose not to look at certain things, but you really have to stay, like I said, in focus on this. Let me check this out and make sure. And this kind of shows you more about the trial and error. Like I said, I have two different sets of tools, and you have an insert just giving you the idea principle. And like I said, you can do these guides in anything. To makes it easier as a guide is even, just showing you the different concept of how when they come into the angle, your 431, and just different sets for a 212, which is a different tool. Your neutral insert, what it looks like when you set it down. So if you have a right or a left, you can see how the transition is different. And so here what we have is the 431 is how it comes up, how it gets bigger as the mass gets up higher. But when you go to the next page, you go to the 432, as you can see, by here, the difference, how much bigger it is and how much more material it'll take if you're using this specific tool for that job, and how they can get, like I say, if you have a 431 insert and a 432, a lot of times they get mixed, and you really have to look. So like I said, if your finished product is with the 431 and you use a 432, well, you're going to take more material and you're going to lose your tolerance. And like I said, I just try to make up a little bit of a guide. And even here, you have the park position, so you know where you want to be when you want to pull the tool out. And like I said, it's just a little bit of material. It's a picture showing you, this isn't park position. You know, you don't want that. So you know where you want to be right here on your x-axis there. So you know you want to be out more. So like I said, this is just a kind of an idea. And then, you know, as our tool is set, our beveling tool is set up to go in the box, we know where we're at. And ideally, I see this a lot of times, is the plane bolt, which what it does is it planes the machine, you know, left to right, right to left. And then of course you have your feet here for your adjustment for your machine, so you know what your pads are going to be. You got little slot pads that go in here, which that's a pad there, and just kind of, you know, giving you a little bit of a job, a little bit of an idea, so you have an actually understanding of it. And then, you know, you use the tape up here to control some of the chips right here, which we want to clean out every pass as well. But like I said, this idea you can do in anything. Just takes a little bit of time. You know, you show me what you want to do, and like I said, we can make wonders. And like I said, pictures are worth 1,000 words, but when you put the words in there too, you see. So like I said, you know, it's the little things, you know. Like it says here, I had to slowly loosen when I was making a heavy pass of 70 thousandths, which to some it's not a lot. And then it started making, you know, you listen for sounds when you're doing machining, so we stopped, and then like I said, we came back, we set this in, and we had a clearance issue, so we took the arm out. But what obviously had happened is it had gotten loosened, so we stopped. We took care of the, you know, the control, and then just, you know, your the labeling of the different, like your spindle motor cable, and then your stepper drive, the beveler, and then we're just showing, you know, different cable management that we had to do here, so the cables don't get caught up in the machine when they come around in a circle. And then, like I said, this is a big issue too as well, is we know that these things need to be seated inside, where a lot of them have, you know, seated where your cables are. When we start having error codes come up, you know, it could possibly even be the cable. Sometimes you can reset it on the machine, and sometimes you have to dig deeper. And this is just another function as well here. So, like I said, I'm not going to go through here too much. It's a lot of material, but just kind of, I'll glance through it, you know, just telling you about your power supply. You know, the best position for the machine, of course, is off if it's unattended, so no one gets hurt. And the biggest thing is the you have your inserts here to show you the alignment, and these pins right here. Some are very, very small and brittle, so you really have to be careful. So we want to go to the concept where we know the alignment. From that to this, we know it's not straight up. It could be straight down, but we need to look at this first. So then we can basically position our hand so we know the way to insert it. It's like I said, I'm gonna kind of, you know, kind of go through this pretty quickly. You know, then you have your smaller prongs, so you really want to be careful with a lot of these, because some are even really, really so tiny. And like I said, I'm just gonna kind of go through some of this. And then, like I said, here is we have a connection. We're good, but obviously we come back around to the side, and we've noticed that it's come out of the back of the panel. It has gotten loosened, so there's a, you know, a big problem. So we want to stop. We want to correct that position. Get an E-Tech, someone there that is you know, electronically capable of fixing this piece. If we're not, you know, capable of the job, we're not going to do it. We're gonna stop. Like I said, there's another one here. And like I said, I just kind of went through some, kind of flipping around a little bit quick. And like I said, we have this one again. And that's actually the inside where the back had just, you know, came loose. So we locked it back down. I'm just going to kind of go through here. And then, of course, you got your machine loading up. And then, of course, with our machines, we want to, you know, home the machine. So the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure no one's in the way before we press the keys to home the machine. And like I said, we're going to do our X and Z. So our Z position is homed. So we know when it is homed, it has the little hourglass icon. And then of course when the Z does it, then the X is going to do it. So we have the X. Like I said, this is just a little bit of a guide that can help us a lot in the field, or even in training. And like I said, I'm just kind of randomly kind of going through here, and then our, you know, our different programs. Which one we want to load first? You know, first, second, third. and so forth. So we even have a guide. Like I said, it's just basically understanding, and then even going to sequence of how we want to program the machine. Like I said, just want to kind of give you a quick review. In our G codes. So this is actually where we could have stopped at in the past and the tool broke and the machine will shut down. We can just, from our last pass, which like I said, I always write mine down. I know that I want to go back in the G220 G1Z R50, and then it takes me right back to that location where I was at, and then we just start going back through it. And like I said, it's just a little bit of a guide. Like I said, just kind of briefly wanted to go through it. So like I said, it's nice to kind of give something back to share with others, and even telling about the tool, our distance, where we kind of want it to be when we set up initially, so we have enough stroke on our tool. Even our mounting brackets, so when we take the tool out, so we know what goes in that location. The tool design for the job, and just a little bit of an idea, and then we know what our our tolerance is here. So for our land right here for the weld prep, it's 79 thousandths plus or minus 4. So we're right there. We're right at 80 thousandths. And then like tool adjustment for a different tool slide, just so you kind of got an idea. And that briefly kind of does it. And then some of our parts, just kind of give you an idea. Thank you.